5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ho ho ho! Guess we'll get rid of those smoke kitties. Aw, yeah.
What up? Hello, hello.
Hello. You're a little large, so I gotta bring you down. There you go.
That's because I'm large and in charge.
Happy Saturday, y'all. It's snowing. What? Why is it snowing?
It's not cool.
Why does it snow on a Saturday, man?
Because global warming isn't a thing.
But I was gonna do stuff.
You were gonna do stuff.
I was gonna do things today.
Not allowed to do stuff right now.
Well, there was a couple things I wanted to do.
Oh, we live in a fascist state.
Yeah.
Nah, we're not allowed to go anywhere or do anything.
No, why would we be allowed to do that? That would make no sense whatsoever.
The QAnonis are going to be our saviors out of this.
You think so?
No. Just to clarify, in case anyone doesn't know me well enough for sure, I don't know who is or isn't watching. Stay in lockdown. Stay safe. Stay safe. Don't say safe.
Stay safe.
Don't be stupid. And don't listen to bullshit conspiracy theories about the deep state and coronavirus.
Well, I mean,
anyway,
you do what you got to do.
It's nonsense. Don't
if you
do
prescribe to conspiracy theories, now is definitely the time for them because
no. Okay, I see.
It is a weird climate. It's a weird time. Speaking of time, what is time? We decided to start basically an hour late today, but whatever. Sorry about that. We did have a couple people who were so ready and excited, and then texting like, "What's going on?" It's like I don't even want to get into what's going on. That sound is a good example. Your sound's a good example. Just we're here, happy to talk. This is the live woes. Definitely feeling like a live woe today. Episode.
Whoa.
This is the unedited, unprepared, unproduced.
Now more than semi-weekly.
Yeah.
Live streaming video podcast, formerly known as Only a Podcast.
Yeah.
Where we spend an hour figuring out everything we don't know.
And today.
And everything we think you shouldn't know either.
Today, I think it's pretty clear there's several things we don't know.
Like Streamlabs.
Yeah. But it's a process getting a thing like this up and running. And we figured, why repeatedly test the hell out of it instead of just winging it every time and then going, oh, well, that doesn't work that way.
As usual, our dedication to your entertainment is at maximum capacity. Try to understand we are at capacity, sir.
It is our entertainment, really, if we're being real.
So what's up, everybody?
Yeah, just living.
Hello to Mrs. Rose from Brother Rose. Hello back.
So, how's this week been for you, man? How's this past week?
This week's been okay.
Yeah.
This week's been okay. Feels a lot like all the other weeks.
Yeah.
Except in the midst of all this other nonsense, I also found out that there is a quiet flavor ban of vape e-juice that's going into place in New York State.
That's unfortunate because I feel like you definitely prescribe to the flavors.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So that things like that are a little bit annoying. It's frustrating to like Cuomo's approach to COVID-19 so much and to hate his approach to this and have them seem so contradictory.
Right.
But I just vape here, and I'm not going to stop. So
I'm
also not buying tobacco flavored.
Just
juice.
a guy who vapes. But I think you were just talking before we went on about was it New York Times? Was it a New York Times article?
New York Times.
New York Times.
Do you remember? Oh, damn it! Home movies, the cartoon home movies.
Definitely remember the cartoon home movies.
McGurk.
Yes, Love
voiced by
McGurk.
the great John Benjamin.
Yeah, it's also the voice of Bob from Bob's Burgers.
And Archer.
Yes.
But yeah, he's I love that character in that show so much. And when he does his slam poetry session, New York Times. All right. Anyway, yes, New York Times did put up an article today that I was not able to relocate later, as in find again, not move to a different place.
Right.
I was not able to find it again later, but I swear it was up there.
Right.
And,
I believe you.
Yeah.
You are believed.
Well, I think we talked about it in one of our earlier streams about some data I saw that says that, we're not just going to switch back off of this new disease semi-tolerant lifestyle with face masks and less interaction and more working from home and things like that.
Right.
We're not just going to go back to the way it was before, like a light switch. That's not the next step.
Right.
There's going to be, and that will cause, loosening the social distancing measures will cause increases in contraction and new patients and et cetera. And then they'll have to put social distancing back into effect to literally, minimize deaths. That's the idea. Like, this isn't just an inconvenience. I don't know. It's because it's saving lives.
Yeah, I mean, it's
no matter what you think about the people that are more susceptible than others, you probably know some or are related to some, and do you really want to look at them and say, like, well, that's what has to happen? Like, that's we're talking about people not dying.
Yeah, I mean, it's
at least not more than have to. So if the economy takes a hit, that which is really more important? I think it's an obvious answer, but it seems to be a topic for debate, which is what an amazing time to be alive. That one wave, it happens over a few generations, and since evolution is literally a dying off of people that aren't moving on to the next step, that's what it takes over the course of generations.
That is a way to look at it.
Well, that's what it is.
I mean, yeah,
right?
you're not wrong.
When a species evolves to have a new leg, it means that one was born with the new leg and did better with it, and all the people that didn't have that extra leg died, and only the ones with the new leg mated, and now the species has evolved into having the extra leg. That's how it happens.
Yeah, I mean, that is evolution.
You don't catch third leg from someone.
Heyo.
There's a joke there. I don't have it.
It's inferred.
Yeah, so New York Times has supported, with some alternate sets of data derived by other people, that idea, and they've shown some different versions of the graphs. The first set of data I saw said it would be 2 months of social distancing and 1 month of more regular-ish life, and then 2 months of social distancing and 1 month. This is showing more like 1 month of social distancing every 3 months kind of thing. Some show a giant initial spike and then a slow burn over the next couple of years. There's different sets of data, but they all suggest that, face masks and social distancing and less contact is not going anywhere for a while if we want safety.
Sure.
So,
but then you have all
just
those
will
fringe
have to be
lunatics
made.
out there who are storming their state capitals and insisting that they have a right to go back outside and they have a right to go back outside with their guns.
You don't, though.
I mean,
you don't. It's
I mean,
what you do in your own home is your freedom, but what you do out in public that could affect the well-being of other people is everybody's fucking business.
It's surprising how ignorant and irresponsible.
I don't know how big of a choir I'm preaching to, by the way, but this isn't what you signed in for.
It's surprising to me how there's a level of both ignorance and irresponsibility. I get out once a week, so I got out last week. I was hoping today will be another day I go out, and I was sort of shocked because I saw these toddlers running through the store by themselves, and like it took me back for a second to before we were all hunkered down. It was just these two little girls running through the grocery store at Wegmans. And they had not a care in the world. And I was like, that's cute. And then at the same time, I was like, that's irresponsible parenting. And then I looked up, and their parent was, at least the dad figure, was this guy, also no mask, carefree, just sauntering through Wegmans. It's just what is wrong with you? Why Why?
Well, part of that is frustrating to me on Wegmans' part because, as I understand, a number of businesses have put rules in place. You're not like you have to wear a face mask to come in here. So if you're going to make that a rule, you should enforce it.
I totally
I mean,
agree.
you don't want to. I mean, like at our doctor's office, and I know this is difficult for a lot of businesses to do given the shortages and by the way, the nonsense that went on around the buying and selling of face masks when this initially began.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that?
We talked about it a little bit, but we could definitely expand upon it because we only touched the tip of the iceberg, I think, with that one.
Okay, we should come back to that. But like at our doctor's office, PCP, because that's how.
Oh, dude, I love PCP.
I don't have PCP either. That would definitely make lockdown more interesting.
Touche. But what we were talking about was
probably in the wrong way.
PPE, I think, is what we were talking about.
Primary care physician. Yeah, I know it's hard.
Yeah.
And all right wingers, and just every issue is now political.
Yeah,
even
I mean,
things that shouldn't be political debates, like some things, like it's really fucked up and non-scientific that these are things we have arguments about in any political arena to begin with. I don't know. I'm losing my choo-choo train of thought here.
No, I'm with you. I mean, I think it's just a matter of that.
I just don't know where to go next. I feel like I could beat this to death all you guys want, but you don't want. You shouldn't be allowed to
with guns just because legally, technically, they can bear arms. Like we should act civilized and we protect each other. But our culture is very selfish. It's very individualized. And then maybe even sell it to, I believe it was Michigan.
I'm not totally sure.
There was an African American female lawmaker who said she felt very threatened when that happened. So she ended up getting an armed escort from several black and Hispanic men who had AR-15s, and like they were strapped and they had the same exact type of stuff that the guys who stormed the state capitol were wearing. These guys were wearing the same things because people were saying, "Oh, imagine if if a black man was out wearing." Well, it certainly made a point, but
Good.
But I think it made a lot of people uneasy, which is so disheartening because if that made people uneasy, but a bunch of white dudes doing it didn't make them uneasy. So Katie and Josh and Megan, thanks for coming and hanging with us.
Thanks for that drive-by drop-off there.
Is that? Oh, I got a text from Josh.
Check your phone.
I got a bunch of texts. Well, most of the texts are like it's not losing their jobs to
I just
losing
don't
their
trust
loved ones.
most of you to do it safely.
Well, agreed.
I just don't trust most of you to do it intelligently.
I agree. I think
you're not fucking action heroes, and you're not cops, and most of you really don't have the discerning awareness or training to know when to use it and when not, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I don't want to make a sweeping generalization, but to me, the people that aren't cops or any sort of marshal or deputy or something, why aren't you in law enforcement then? Like, if you're that into weaponization, you're either somebody who really wants to be and for some reason isn't, or somebody who's like, I want to protect against the revolution when the government comes for my guns. I just think,
and there will finally be the battle between the government and the civilian uprising, fighting for, and the government just wants to have complete oppressive tyranny, and the militias and whatnot in the boogaloo will rise up and all that. And it's, this is a word you hear from rednecks and ultra right-wing wackos and doomsday preppers and shit like that. But
I can only hope someday.
People I went to high school with, man.
I can only hope that someday I can be a whack job prepper. I'm starting like a good bunk, the perfect time to just absolutely lose one's mind. I am sort of doing like the quarantine beard. So I'm trying to decide, when exactly is going to be the right time to start grooming. But right now, it's not the time. I'd rather
went for it. I didn't really do much research. I just stopped shaving.
I mean, what is there to research? You just let it go.
How to take care of it and stick up, because when I wake up, the beard has bedhead too.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. Mine's way shorter.
it's not one you can just comb out. So I mean, like this whole neck, and that sounds like no big deal, but it's the whole bottom half of your face.
Yeah,
my face.
The deliverer of the goods today
Oh,
knows all about beard.
oh, I know.
Yeah, you guys put me to shame, okay? But you've got. Are you just touching up the side?
And then stops growing after a certain point, or if it gets too far down, I just sweep it all back. So if it gets too far down the back of my head, then Hannah will say, "All right, you're cut off," and she goes, just across the back right there. Like, it's not often that way. Especially, I got used to. When I was on tour, I got in the habit of doing that because I'd be gone for 3-4 months at a time, and you don't want to be trying to find places to get your hair done on the road. Just do it in the hotel bathroom.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I think the closest my hair ever got to looking like yours now is when I lived in LA, and my roommate was just like, "Dude, I'll do your hair." So I was like, "I don't have money for a haircut. Are you kidding me?" So yeah, basically got got him to just take the clippers and basically just left what was on the top middle pretty long, and then just did the sides like right down. Sort of weird mohawk thing going.
There you go.
Headphones and some behind that's kind of like sprouting up. So good look,
That's why you got both sides. I can't turn my head to the side too much because this just looks ridiculous.
No, it looks good. You look good, man. Look at Shap.
Well,
So that's
thinking they have some public forum to say whatever they think all the time gives them the idea that the people are interested and that they should have something to say on everything. And I think that creates like an echo chamber where we wind up getting more entrenched in our own ideas and more enthusiastic about our opinions and more hateful of people that don't have the same opinions. Like, I really think there's some connection there because it happened over time. I just think if everyone wasn't so damn self-obsessed with their own opinions in the first place, like, you can have them, like we all had them before, but it wasn't to this level of insanity. Or maybe it's just more visible side of the coin you're on. You just think if the other person says this is a fact, you can argue with it. You can say, I don't agree with
why why we were having some
happening?
issues. It stopped showing I think actually this
some technical difficulties.
well, I think this
today.
image is fitting right now because to me, what's new? Some of the article on these essential workers. I mean, there's, they're obviously being worked to the bone already, which is one thing. But the fact that they're seeing so much trauma, in such a concentrated amount of time, and they're so overworked on top of that. This normalizes. I mean, you were talking about those articles in New York Times where it might be in waves, so normalization could be who knows how far off, right? But for these essential, supplement and replace, their ability to work at capacity, because in reality they're gonna already their ability to work at full output is diminishing because they're so fatigued and so exhausted, breakdown. But there's gonna be a lot of mental breakdowns for these people, and the same way that there were for first responders for 9/11. So what are we doing now proactively to take care of the people who are trying to take care of everyone?
Sure. Parts of the job are certainly more stressful, as certainly already have, than the average bear or someone who's just stepping into it. It's not up to us.
This morning when I woke up, unsafe, like.
Well, that's attainable by keeping our distance from each other and taking extra precautions like we've been doing, which means that even when things do reopen, it'll only be to a point back for a while, which means there are giant sections of the economy that are, and that means that there's also displaced workers,
right? Which
means that but I want to brighten up everyone's day.
Do you?
I do.
And
I don't know. I don't know. You should click on something else.
Okay, let's get off this article because it's depressing.
Yes, yeah. Not that.
No, I mean, I just think,
if you're not a big music history, to do all the stuff he did, but cleaned up.
It's so funny because you see the guy, you're like, well, yeah, but he's great. Same thing with Elton John. Like, people just don't even notice. And they go, what? Wait, what? What? So,
like, I understand what it is as far as like short little silly video.
Okay, man.
That and I mean, this is so cliche, but oh my God, some of the music and just seeing some of the people that are famous and hearing their songs and the accolades they get, I'm getting fucking old, dude.
Past TikTok then, because they're
No, you could no. I mean, what were you gonna? What's the thing that gonna say makes me feel?
no, because there's not much else to say because I basically feel the same way. I feel super fucking old whenever I'm looking at it. So this is something I just stumbled across and I did not know. Roy from Siegfried, COVID complications. What?
Yeah,
I just found this out now as I was scrolling. I had no idea.
he survives the tiger, but
Was he the one that'd been attacked by the tiger? I thought it was the other one.
yeah, I thought it was
Man,
him.
Roy had a tough run.
Yeah, I mean that's I don't know. I don't know what this is. I'm not good at the celebrity death thing, just in general. Like there's a lot of celebrities that are old now. They're we're all going to die eventually.
No.
So like the wave, like, oh, it's so sad. Like, well, it is. I didn't know them personally though, so I guess I don't know. I don't care as much.
I just find it. Your tiger is at a Siegfried and Roy show.
I never knew his last name.
Yeah,
Roy Horn.
yeah.
There you go. It's snowing again.
Yeah, it is snowing again.
It's almost like little hail. Explain it better to me.
Yeah, whatever that thing is when Ollie's older.
Well, yeah, I'll be curious, and hopefully he'll be able to make me understand. But I mean, I've done the math, dude. I'm 35, so when he's 15, I'll be 50.
Yep.
So I don't know.
That's fun to think about.
I don't know. It's not fun to think about.
But here we are trying to live stream, and what up to people like Ethan and
What up, Ethan?
I saw some other people showing up in the chat.
What up?
I know.
Concept in general.
Absolute
It seems like every
happenstance.
time. Yeah, there's that wave of Facebook posts. You know what I mean? Like it's another thing that everyone chimes in on Facebook or Twitter or what have you. When a celebrity dies, like everyone has something to say about it.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't.
everyone's got to have a comment.
I don't think everyone should have a comment.
And Grimes had a baby.
It's not a name. It's a model number.
When Elon Musk and Grimes announced this week the name of their baby was XAEA-12.
It's not AE, though. It's like that. It's that capital A with 3 E prongs sticking off
and
the
it's
side
supposed
of
to
it, mushed into one.
It's
symbol.
supposed to be pronounced like Ash or something, but I don't get it. And then he said the A12.
Apparently, he's pronounced it different ways.
He said the A12 was his announce. That's what he said on the Joe Rogan show. But then basically that created a bunch of hilarious ways to say it, and several of them were on.
Reach a little more. Reach a little more, so the people can see you. Can you see him? I don't like that.
Sorry. That's how that kid says you say Elon Musk's. I'm so... So people say it sounds like a Skrillex song, all that. So yeah, I had a lot of fun watching that. Somehow the chat is talking about definitely not dead.
I've heard it's really good. I gotta see that.
I would say probably top recommend of the year so far.
But that's pretty new, right?
Yeah, I mean, I went
right?
to see it just before quarantine.
Okay, so that's pretty new.
Yeah, maybe it was a little
Be hilarious.
hoax articles that said he died. Very un-Kevin James like. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Really interesting looking. Here's one that I think you may find interesting. The Office, or maybe many episodes of The Office. You are a very big Office buff.
Seasons.
Yeah, you're an Office buff, I would say.
We like The Office in this household, yes.
So to have his talking head scenes filmed in front of an exterior window. If you think about it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They did his in a different spot.
Yeah, and it was done intentionally. I don't know.
Why was it done intentionally?
Oh, so hold on. I have to pull the article back up because I don't want to get it wrong, because this was like a whole Easter egg thing. But I don't know if you ever heard the Office Ladies podcast. It's really funny.
I have heard of it,
and
yeah. I've read a lot of synopsises of things that they have, or synopsi, of discussed on the podcast to get more detail on the production of the show. It's good stuff on there. I haven't listened to the podcast itself.
It is really funny. So they talked about how much photo ID, like complaints.
Yes.
Like Toby has all the
I remember
complaints.
now.
So
Yes, the Chris Rock joke was in diversity.
So in that episode, that's the first time that you see Jim doing a talking head, kind of like by himself, like with the window, the actual outside behind him. And they said that a fan had actually written in to ask like why. It was basically we're kind of resigned to being there with intention, and it's actually like really deep, like as far as like metaphor. I know you're like symbolism making the joke, but like it's so much more beneath the surface than just a goofy boss and like not kind of reality and human
stuff. And and that they wound up, directors wound up thinking it was funny.
Katie said
that was showing up in the back.
Katie said she hates Andy Bernard. He may be one of the most universally
deserves it. I also know that he should be entitled. He should be underwhelming, but amazed with himself. He should be desperate for attention and approval and achievement without earning it, because that's what that kind of upbringing. Yeah, but then he's a dick to Aaron, and still winds up like having such a happy ending. I don't know.
This is probably going to be a hot take. One of my least favorite characters it's Jake. Is that his name? Or Pete? No, it's Pete.
Pete, okay.
The guy that Aaron ends up, I think, with.
Yeah.
Right? I like the actor, and I like him. I just think it was one of the things.
Clark might be one of my least favorite
I love
characters.
Clark. Because I know they're supposed to be like the new Jim and Dwight,
Yeah.
Pete and Clark. I don't know, and maybe it's just the character, like the performance by the actor that makes me like it. I get why he's supposed to be an unlikable. I can talk about The Office all day. It's like one of my favorites.
The look that Robert California gives to the camera after he's finished taking
Creed Bratton.
His name's also Creed Bratton.
Is amazing. Yeah, I mean he's a real
Creed Bratton, the real man, is on that show.
Yeah. What a cool dude. And Katie did not like Robert D'Angelo Vickers, the Will Ferrell, persona non grata.
I like the Southwest, one of my favorite regions.
When he and Michael really talk about The Office, all the dad go. I don't have the beanie. Daryl was awesome too, Josh said.
Oh yeah, Daryl was great. Although the show, I think, jumps the shark for Daryl's goodbye.
Oh yeah. When they're like, "Oh, we all want to." Yeah. Okay, so I just want to.
Oh, he's getting sleepy.
Oh, little guy.
Oh, tired baby. Oh.
So the only reason
he's still cute even when he's cranky. He's still.
The only reason I wanted to show any of this footage from the '70s was just. It's just such a weird thing to see all these people going about their day, milling around in this. And also, have you seen like Times Square and stuff lately? Like how just completely pure. I will have to check that out. I have to go there a lot for work, so I don't know, man. Like I think I'm grateful that we can do this, that we can have some people hang out with us. Just like 2020 is weird. It's super weird.
Murder hornets.
And again, The Simpsons guessed it again. You saw that? Well, that's about all I got for this week, man. So,
is that it?
I mean, that's basically what I got. I don't know if you got anything else, but we certainly kept people late enough.
Pretty much covered it at the top. Don't be so stupid online.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep doing it. Anyway, I think that's all I got.
All right, man. Well,
I think I'm good.
Hit a like, do a follow, all that stuff. Yada yada, and see you next week.
Check out our mention was thoroughly entertaining. So I recommend.
Thank you
that.
much. I will cross promote here. Josh has an awesome live stream for Twitch. It's Mr. Rose, which is some nice house beats.
Stole your branding.
That's
I'm
okay,
sorry.
man.
I'm
It's okay,
sorry.
man. It's collective.
Just really fun to mix because honestly, it's really easy. It's a loud thing planned for tomorrow that I think is going to be really cool. Think more coffee house for that one, but yeah, I'm looking at doing the more aggressive stuff like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm thinking, and then Sundays will be the chill out
Okay.
day. So I'm still playing with different times a day to see what works the best for whoever might be interested, and I'm working on length. I'm doing an hour at a time